It's 5:30 a.m. And I've arrived in the car park at Mount Snowdon. For those of you who don't know, I suppose most of you do, but Mount Snowdon is the tallest mountain in Wales. And as you can no doubt see, still quite dark. Just after 5:30, so it's 5:33. Sunrise is 6:36, and my plan is to get up to Llyn LLydaw for sunrise, take a photograph of the lake and Mount Snowdon in the background. It's a clear sky, beautiful moon as I was driving along. Left home just before 4 o'clock this morning, so early alarm call, already set to go. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to have my head torch on, working my way up to the lake. Quite a few people here already with head torches on, heading up to Snowdon. So looks like a beautiful day ahead, and hopefully some good photos. Well, I've arrived at Llyn LLydaw, and quite a difference in the amount of light. Beautiful, beautiful Snowdon. Mount Snowdon, that very sharp peak. Main object of what I'm trying to see today. It's quite windy, so I've got a new muff for my microphone, so hopefully that's working. Just check the time, 26 minutes past 6, so it took me about 20 minutes. So I came up what's known as the Miners Track, which is a really easy walk. It took me about 20 minutes to get up here. In fact, it's such an easy walk that in the past some idiots have driven a car up to the top of Snowdon. It's a really wide path, really flat and smooth. But the sun is going to come up over there. So got about another 10 minutes. And what I'm hoping is as the sun comes up, you can see, I don't know if you can pick it up, but it's a clear sky. Surprisingly mild. I thought it'd be colder, but I've got my shorts on, and it's lovely gull flying over. So the sun is coming up directly behind me, and I'll spin you round. Got the lake in the foreground, and what I'm waiting for is those first rays of sun just to hit the top of Snowdon, and kind of hopefully first image will be the top of Snowdon, then hopefully some other images as the sun rises and illuminates this amazing vista. But what I've got the camera set up. It looks a little bit like a drunk giraffe at the moment, but I spent about 20 minutes coming up and down the kind of just the edge of the lake, just looking at different compositions, and I was kind of undecided whether to put any rocks in the foreground. But actually, what I've decided is go quite close on Snowdon itself. So there's no distractions in the foreground. So no filters, just the 17 to 40 lens, and I'm on f9, focused on the mountain, and let's wait for the sun. So I can see there's a lovely golden glow in the sky. So a couple more minutes and we'll be in business. I really hope you can see this. Just stunning. Look at that. I really don't know what will show up on the GoPro. But the sun is just, I don't think the sun's over the horizon yet, but there's just enough light. Turn that beautiful pinky salmon colour. I really hope the GoPro picks up for you. Just stunning. And against a clear blue sky, light's coming fantastically, casting some lovely shadows over there. So, got back quickly, so just thought I'd share it with you. Look at that, just absolutely amazing light just falling. I do hope the GoPro picked that up for you. So I'm going to take some images and then come back to you a bit later. What a difference a couple of minutes make. Look at that. So it's about 5 to 7. So in the space of 20 minutes, half an hour, whole of that range. In fact, the sun is now illuminating the far bank of Llyn LLydaw, so the whole of that range has now been lit up by the sun, and I'm imagining the GoPro definitely picks this up. So what I've done is I've shot a series of portrait orientated images so that I can stitch together in a panorama. So with the lake, the mountain range and the sky making up about a third of each, but probably in the end, kind of processing, I'll reduce the amount of sky and the amount of the lake, so the focus is on that kind of band of mountains. Obviously Snowdon with a tiny little bit of snow still left on the top. So in fact, I shouldn't do this really, because it might blind you, but you might be able to just see the sun, picking up the sun over the horizon. So the sun is now well and truly up. So that's it for this shot, because the light's only going to get harsher, and harsh light on mountain scenes is not great, because you just lose all detail. So in fact, looking at Snowdon now, it looks like a kind of a one-dimensional drawing, and you want some depth. So given that it's still not 7 o'clock yet, what I'm going to do is head up. There's a path, you probably can't see it, there's a path heads up onto that ridge. So I don't know whether I'll get all the way to the top, but I'm going to go up and see what the views are like looking that way, and see if I can take some more images looking into Snowdon. But just give you another view. I don't know if you can pick out some old kind of mine workings or over there. This used to be a kind of a heavily kind of industrialised landscape. In fact, one of the reasons the path is called the Miners' Path is there are lots of mines up here, but now thankfully it's mostly just people like me coming to walk. So anyway, off up there, and I'll speak to you when I get there. Well, I made it to the ridge that I pointed at, and it's windy as hell, so I hope this, I think it's called a dead cat. I hope this kind of wind muffler's helping a little bit, but I'll speak up. But I'll stop talking and I'll spin you round. I will point out, there's Snowdon. So 360-degree view, quite high up, quite windy, quite cold. I'm going to set up and I'm going to take some images looking that way. You can see the cloud is starting to build. It's going quite misty, so it's quite misty down there. And when I was talking to you earlier from the lakeside, I was right down there. So it's quite a hike up here. Saw a bunch of lads. They passed me because they're younger and fitter, but training shoes, tracksuit bottoms, t-shirts. I'm about to put another coat on because it's cold up here. No map, no water, no coats, and they said they were heading for Snowdon Summit. Hadn't seen the weather forecast. Did warn them, but off they went. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's cold, and they just had t-shirts on. So, and cloud is already closing in. So, going to set up, take some photos, and put another coat on. Brrr. So I'm fairly certain the wind is raging in the microphone, so apologies, but it's blowing an absolute hoolie. But I just wanted to explain what I'm doing. So Snowdon got a bit of cloud on the top, and then this peak here is E LLydaw, and I'm taking an image with this peak as the kind of main centre of attraction, but with Snowdon in the background. And what I'm waiting for is a bit of cloud to clear off the top of Snowdon. So it's going very, you know, even as I speak, it's getting kind of hazier and hazier. And then, don't know whether you can see, but just beyond the Llyn, there's a big bank of cloud. Now that was forecast to arrive, so I'm hoping that between that bank of cloud and this bank of cloud, there's a brief spell where I get some sharpness over Snowdon, and take a quick couple of shots, and then that will probably be it for here, because that cloud's coming in really quickly. The wind's blowing so strongly, that cloud will be on me before I know it, and then I've got to head down, and I'm going back down that way. So sorry about the wind, but it's quite refreshing. It's cold, but after coming up there it's quite hot, so quite nice. But I think the cloud's about to clear, so I'm focused on Llyn LLydaw, but let's get Snowdon in the background. Well, that's the plan anyway. Well, I've come down off the peak I was on previously. Still a bit windy, but it's a bit calmer down here. So I was up there, shooting across that way. One of the reasons I'm filming now is just to show you how quickly things change. So look at that. Went from clear blue sky, really grey cloud, some beautiful light. So I'm going to try, I'm hoping some light falls on here. So I've got the camera set up. But it's how quickly conditions change in the mountains. I've just seen another couple of people in just t-shirts, no bags, carrying a bottle of water, heading up. And again, I said, I don't know, should I bother saying anything to them? But again, I said, weather's getting worse. Are you sure you want to head up? And they kind of just looked at me as if I was an idiot. But they've headed off up there into that, and there's potentially rain in there. Even potentially snow. So, but another thing, I didn't want to turn this into just a rant, but someone's been wild camping here, which is great. Love the idea of wild camping. But if you come wild camping and you stay in a place like this, then sorry if you know, great place to, I can imagine actually, lovely, there's actually someone's made kind of a rock shelter there, lovely place to wild camp. Why would you do that? Why would you wild camp and then leave a bottle of San Miguel on the mountainside? It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and some, pardon the French, tosser has left a bottle, so I'm going to take that bottle down. I've already picked up a plastic bottle. You know, I know this channel is about photography, but it's also about the mountains, and it's about the environment, and it's about nature. And if you claim to be a wild camper and you're coming out and leaving litter, then you're nothing but an absolute, pardon the French. So if that was you, you're. But anyway, hoping some of that light comes down over the mountains in the foreground. It'd be nice to capture. So still a bit of brightness over there, but the cloud that was predicted has arrived. So I'm going to wait and see if some light shines on there, take some photos, and sorry about the rant, but it really annoys me. But back down to where it all began. So my early film was just over the other side of that little mound there. Obviously quite a different scene from first thing this morning, and then I was up there, so that was quite a strenuous trip down. Lots of kind of steep bits. It's just hard on the knees, but anyway, I made it. I'll probably trip over something now. So end of another video. Hope you enjoyed the trip to Snowdon. It started with a 3:45 alarm call for me, and I think it's just after 10, so almost 7 hours from alarm to here. Probably take me another 20 minutes to get back to the car, and then hour and a half home. So maybe 9 hours, something like that in total. So I hope you enjoyed the trip. Hope you enjoyed the images and the video. Be great if you did enjoy it. Please leave a comment. I do. It was one of the things I look forward to, is having the chats with people when they leave a comment. So it'd be great if you did that. And thanks to all the new subscribers. I think I've added kind of 15% more subscribers in the last week, which is fantastic. So thank you very much for joining me. I think in my next video I might do an offer for subscribers or something, maybe a print giveaway or something, but we'll see if I can sort that out. But maybe one last look at Snowdon, one last look at Llyn LLydaw, and I'll say goodbye and see you in the next one.